We would like to remind our viewers that the views expressed in this program by our participating guests are solely viewpoints of them who take part and does not reflect the views and beliefs of the Derana Media Network.
Protecting the environment has been considered to being tantamount to protecting individual human rights of all people. Therefore, the conservation of the environment will fundamentally determine the future of humanity. And it is no big idea to understand that the future of humanity is the youth. That is the discussion today. You are with Gen XYZ and I'm Danidul Tanavasa. We'll also be joined by Jayantha Vijayasinghe. Jayantha is the convener of Rainforest Protectors of Sri Lanka. He's a sustainability consultant and a conservationalist with over 10 years experience within Southeast Asia. I need to move to Mr. Jayantha. You're not new, of course, to TV Derana, but in particular, we have seen over the years that you have been on the ground and even had to celebrate even minor efforts by the state, such as putting up a board or having proper protected areas given the sign. So you have been with rainforest for a very long period of time and been like a front runner when it came to its protection. So firstly, without giving too many details from my end, I need you to give us an update pertaining to what exactly is happening in Vilpattu, the Singharaja and the Yala rainforest right now, pertaining to where is the deforestation, or where is it most urgent, where should our attention be right now? And then we'll move on to aspects of how rainforest protectors is functioning today.
Thank you very much. First of all, I thank Derana 24/7 for giving us this opportunity to talk about how the youth can be engaged in this conservation effort. When it comes to deforestation, issue about forest loss, and also reforestation, we have a lot of things that we should address urgently. Talking about deforestation, much spoke of Vilpattu is the highlight, but there is plenty of other deforestation activities going around the country. And if I may capture a few, one would be the forests in between Yala, Kumana and Lahugala. There is plenty of lands much bigger than Vilpattu, possibly 10 times bigger at least, are being destroyed. And I haven't seen
quantity of land.
Quantity in terms of quantity, and that's about 50,000 acres altogether. And as we know, the deforestation rapidly accelerated after the civil war was over. The war was won in 2009 for resettlement, agriculture, and various other activities, industrialization, things like that now, and road construction and other massive projects. And with that, we know Vilpattu is about resettlements. But here, it's not resettlement, it's the people who come there and start their own chena cultivations. There are big farms and the companies supporting the villagers to clear massive areas of forest. So this is a big problem, and there is about 50,000 acres cleared. So that's the hotspot, I would say, and the place that we should give more attention. In terms of Vilpattu, the current situation is that there is two ongoing court cases. One, unfortunately, I must mention that the order was supposed to be given long ago. The case was fully heard, but the judge delayed it, delayed the verdict twice or three times, if I'm not mistaken. It was on news. It was in the public domain, and ultimately he didn't give the verdict, and the new bench had to hear it from the beginning, or they wanted to hear it from the beginning. So that's a very lengthy process. Now it's being heard now. And now, unfortunately, the Department of Forest Conservation is proposing that these pieces of lands that were deforested will be exempted from the gazette, and will re-gazette the area. So that would pretty much be like legitimizing an illicit act, an illegal deforestation.
Could you give us a picture of the kind of time duration that takes place to reforest an area after it, to bring it back to the kind of greenery, the coverage that it...
Well, it takes minimum 15 to 20 years. Because you can do a reforestation, but for it to become a forest, it takes a long time. Finally, if I may also touch a bit about Singharaja, there is good news there. which we all should celebrate in a way. The outgoing president, just few days before he left office, he signed one of his last gazettes declaring Sinharaja Forest Complex, just as much as Wilpattu is. Sinharaja Forest Complex, what it would do is that these defragmented forests of Sinharaja, separate forest patches surrounding Sinharaja, connected one way or another. Separately, they were there separately without proper protection. Most of them were under proposed forest state, and now all of them being added to Sinharaja forest. So now all of these forests will have the same protection the Sinharaja gets, and that would increase the size of Sinharaja from 11,000 hectares to 36,000 hectares. So there is good news there, and there is plenty of other good news, like the outgoing president signed 62 gazettes in one day declaring most of the mangrove areas around the country, which would be good news for pearl protectors. So there are positives, and there are a lot of deforestation issues as well altogether.
Mm-hmm. In particular, could you, so we'll move on to our next stage as well, where is your core concern right now? Where are you working with right now?
Our core concern was initially to protect our rainforest, because we had a lot of issues in terms of Sinharaja and its border. There is plenty of LRC lands.
As I spoke to the Rainforest Protectors Organization before, there was a requirement that you made, and a lot of people didn't know of this and know of the existence of this also, about the trees, the heritage trees. I think that was the name of the program. Correct. Within Colombo itself.
Correct.
Could you give us a small briefing there, and then we move?
Okay, so quickly we started focusing on rainforest. Later on, with the movement getting bigger, expanding,
yeah, okay.
We moved into various other areas. Now we focus on wetlands, the forests, the rivers, the tanks, and everything, and including mangrove forest and other beaches as well. Talking about heritage tree, which is also a very alarming issue in the country, with the development, especially road development and things like that, and the lands belonging to various departments, such as now Colombo, if you take Dharmapala Mawata, there may be lands belonging to RDA, trees belonging to RDA, trees belonging to private entities, trees belonging to government entities, trees belonging to CMC, Colombo Municipal Council, and trees belonging to UDA. Now, and also CEB, the Ceylon Electricity Board, for their wires to go, if there is a disturbance, they just cut down some of the trees. So our focus there on the heritage tree was that we wanted to stop these trees being cut. From Borella to Maradana, all the trees were cut down in a few days, few months ago. And Narahempita Kirimandala Mawata road was developed, and all the massive trees, including massive ancient trees, were all cut down. And similarly, there were a lot of trees in the city was cut down. So we wanted to stop it. There is a model that we can follow, which is happening in countries like Australia, Singapore, and various other countries, a program called Heritage Tree, where we will recognize those trees as heritage trees in terms of natural heritage, wildlife heritage, and also the scenic value of the trees and things like that. And we wanted to preserve that, and that is why we started that project.
Okay, so I think our viewers can get a good picture of the kind of guests we are dealing with today. Stay with us, and we will go further into how the youth can get themselves involved. You're with Gen XYZ.